have a problem with now anybody who compliments me that, oh, you're a multitasker, you're a superwoman. नहीं बनना यार, मुझे तुम बन जाओ.
She fell, she fought, and in the end, she emerged victorious. This is the woman of today, and she is made of steel. Come and watch how she slays.
I think the pressure is genuinely from within. Environment, society, people are always going to give you a reason to complain and begrudge about. It's up to you if you want to take. The power lies within you, and this knowledge or this awareness came to me much later in life. And so in my 20s, I was all cooped up and all complexed. And not to say that I'm not complex anymore. I think all human beings are very complex creatures, and it's a journey of just evolving and transforming for the rest of our lives. But what I can say is that I have taken all those pressures and I landed up nowhere because किसी को घंटा नहीं पड़ा था, किसी को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा था whether I am worrying about the 2 extra kilos that I have on myself or whether my pimple is here or there. Nobody bothered. It's generally very self-created fears. But then what happens is people are very receptive. They start feeding off on those fears. And then your own fears, they get manifested in the form of other people having or viewing you from a certain vision or a perspective or with a certain lens. And that reinforces your own fears for yourself. So yeah, it's been a journey of really evolving and learning that the power lies within me and not with anybody else. So if it's me who's giving myself all the pressures, and the books that I've written really are a means of sharing with the world what I had gone through, but with the intention of that, to remember that the power lies within us. The 7 sins of being a mother especially is to really ease off the pressure. It by no means is a help book. If you've read the book, it nowhere tells you to be the perfect ideal mother. It's actually the polar opposite of it. So it's okay to own up to your faults, if at all you consider those imperfections. So it's about to ease off the pressure and really just have joy in living. Perfect mother कुछ भी नहीं होता है. It's just a myth. It's a myth which is created by people who do not like to see women being happy. I think it's just a ploy to put more pressure to the already existing pressures that a woman has. So it's just very, very unfair to expect a woman to multitask and then give her compliments for that. I don't want that compliment of a multitasker because I would want somebody else to do half the things that I am doing. It's just because the other person is not doing is why women take on to so many roles and then they are called the multitaskers. I would rather have this lovely status not being given to women, and it's okay. I'm a bad mom, I'm a bad mother, I'm a bad wife, but तुम बाकी का काम तुम करो, कोई तो करे. So it's there's nothing which is known as a perfect man or a woman or a mother or a father. We're all human beings, equally vulnerable, and we need to just acknowledge that for our own happiness. It's a constant endeavor to keep telling ourselves that we are not meant to be perfect. We are not meant to do everything. We can't do everything, and you can't hold yourself guilty for doing that or feeling that. And I completely agree with this superwoman hero complex that we have. I have a problem with now anybody who compliments me that, oh, you're a multitasker, you're a superwoman. नहीं बनना यार, मुझे तुम बन जाओ. So it is that actually. So. I'm genuinely, I'm no one to tell anyone how to prep for the journey, because I had read so many books. I love reading, and I had read so many books about motherhood, about bringing up your children, and you actually have a series dedicated to various stages, and you have various apps now in your mobile phone, how your baby is now and how should you be feeling. And I mean to say, these are milestones, and these are stories, and these are fables created by people who feel that mothers in general are supposed to feel a certain way, but somehow I am opposed to that idea. I feel that each individual, each motherhood journey is very individual and very unique. You can't have a set of guidelines telling you this is how you should be feeling, this is how you should be nurturing, or this is how you should be bringing up your child. I think all of us should be allowed to have the maturity or our own sense of experience to bring up our children. So I am in nowhere in a position to tell people, or to tell women or young girls to prep themselves up. All that I can say is that life is going to be a journey, and then you just need to embrace it fully and joyfully, and to really set your own commandments for yourself, make your own sins, and embrace them fully. From gaining 20 kilos, being judged for that. Then when I tried to knock off those kilos, I was judged for that because my child was hardly a couple of months and I was hitting the gym. Then I was like, okay, when I was fat, I was doing something wrong. Now I'm trying to knock off the kilos again, I'm doing something wrong. I was judged for giving a top feed. I was judged for, trying to even work, because I was told that why are you in a rush to work? Just spend time with your child. These are some guidelines which need to be set by the mother herself, and so I have felt guilty and sinful for most part of bringing up my children, and I am still continuously I'm still judged, but it's just that I have let that pressure off me, so I am not concerned or feel guilty anymore. I'm open to opinions. Awesome, you have an opinion about me, great, but does that define me? No. So I have come a long way for that, and I have done many things. I've dropped off my children on public holidays. Then I had to bring them back because, of course, the school was shut. I have, you have these sports days where you actually wear a matching T-shirt with your child's team. And I have, because you want to root for your child, and I have done just the opposite. I have worn opposition wali team ki T-shirt, and my children were cursing me that, you are wearing opposition ka T-shirt. I've done that, but I'm doing 20 more things and I am little forgetful. So I do try hard. I do give it my best, but I do falter at times, and it's okay to do that. I've also forgotten my child at a restaurant for which I was judged, for which I judged myself. And I was just thinking that, of course, I did not go home after leaving. I just went to the lift and I left my child at the table. And a waiter had come running to me and telling me, "Madam, aap apna bacha bhul gaye ho." And that was the most embarrassing thing. And the people in the lift, they would have killed me. If looks could have killed, they would have killed me. But I was just thinking, if a father would have done that, they all would have laughed. So it's a different perception that the world has towards the sins being committed by the mother and the sins being committed by the father. And I have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with any one of us committing sins, because we are human beings. We're going to commit mistakes. But how forgiving and unforgiving we are, how does it depend on the gender that you have? I have a problem with that. It's very important to give your mental health a lot of precedence, and I'm just so glad people are talking about it more openly now. They're opinion leaders in a position where what they say really matters, and the idea of perfection and the perfect image is being shattered now by these people, which is so good, because everybody is dealing with their own crap. This things happening to everybody, so nobody's life is perfect or so insta perfect. Nobody's life is like that. We all do have issues going on, but it is very, very important to acknowledge the same, talk about the same, have dialogues about the same, don't pent up. I have been on that end of the spectrum where I did need help, and I just At that point of time, I did not know whether that I had the option of talking to someone also. There's so much of taboo about it, and the taboo was a secondary thing. I didn't even know that there's something known as anxiety, even though when I was going through it. So it was only with time and talking, and I realized that these are issues which actually happened to anyone, and that doesn't make you that there is one should not be ostracized for that. You do have influenza, you do have cold cough. It's a problem which needs to be treated. It just should not be shoved under the carpet, and it's very, very important to acknowledge your own life state. If you feel that you're having sleepless nights, you feel you're having anxiety, your heart is pounding, these are some symptoms, or you constantly feel sad, or you just feel like crying. I'm in no means a doctor for the same, but I'm someone who has gone through it. So I just feel one needs to acknowledge that and really reach out to people who are in a position to help you out of it, and you will come out of it. But you need to acknowledge it first to come out of it. Or gives you the strength to endure. I mean to say there are two ways to look at it. Um, I would say, it was definitely a big health issue, but as long as we're human beings, we are going to experience pain and disappointment in multiple forms. We're going to be rewarded, we're going to feel gratification, we're going to feel victory throughout our lives, and we're also going to feel the other way on various fronts. I would like to treat it as any other challenge. There's some people who face financial crisis. There's some people who are in a relationship crisis. There's some people, so at times that is also more consuming than a health issue. So I would not like to say that, oh, because I was dealing with breast cancer, so your problem of mental health or your problem of a relationship is anyway lesser. I mean to say, you never know, maybe that problem would drive the person against the wall as opposed to the health issue. So I'm just trying to say is, the idea is to have a strong life state. The idea is to have a strong sense of being, and treat every challenge like a challenge for you to give it your best to kind of deal with it. And if you can deal with that challenge in the most joyous manner, then the suffering sort of, it becomes less. It becomes less of a suffering. The journey is going to be there. If it's going to take so many sessions of chemotherapy, it is going to take so many sessions of chemotherapy. But if it's going to take you so many months to get a job, it is going to get you there. But how joyous are you going to make that journey? That I feel that power lies in you. So the idea is to recognize that power, to be aware of that beautiful life state that stays within you even during your deepest and the darkest of the times. So, and be aware and manifest that life state. So it was a tough issue. Definitely it was a tough issue, a tough phase of my life. But I would like to see the kids and the environment that I was in as a source of strength, rather than the other way around. I feel she should really start with taking care of herself, and we should really aim to make ourselves the center of our universe. Only if we are happy and healthy can we be a source of happiness and health and goodwill and good environment for other people also. And this was the main thing when I spoke about breast cancer. I always spoke about breast cancer detection and breast cancer awareness and early breast cancer detection. And that was why what I came to know of via my doctors, that there are many women who ignored their symptoms, and they actually even have put off their mammograms or their test because it's been their child's farewell. School में farewell है, या फिर बच्चे का birthday party है, या husband का retirement है, या बच्चे की बेटी की niece की किसी की engagement है, सगाई है, किसी का शादी है. And so you put off your appointments with the doctor because of all these reasons. And even as small as today, I have to cook a dinner for some guests who are coming. and you give that precedence over your health checkup, and what does it cost you? It costs you late detection, which means it's difficult to treat. And it's very, very important to really, and it all stems from the mindset of placing other people first and yourself later. And all of us have guilty of doing that. I don't know if you have, but I certainly have done that. And that just you for a moment you feel like this woman who is sacrificing so much for other people. But couple of days down the line, months down the line, years down the line, it is adding to your unhappiness quotient, because where are your dreams and where are your aspirations and where are you in the entire picture? Everybody moves on. Why don't you get to move on? Why don't you get to fly and expand? And so I think that's where it stems from. So the first and the foremost thing for any woman or any human being is to listen to the pilot in an aeroplane, and the instructions that are given. You place the oxygen mask on yourself first and then place it to the person next to you. So you need to set out for your work towards your own happiness. Keep yourself at a pedestal where you vision for yourself great goals and great dreams, and then embrace everybody along on that journey. It definitely starts with the woman. I mean to say, it really, you have to feel like an individual for people to see you as an individual. If you're going to just, so I think it's taking ownership of your life. Once you do that, I think the environment will correspond to it. It might not be the same immediate day. You're right. It is work in progress for it's more work for women. Somehow, even men, they do automatically have an identity of being the man, but for you being the woman or being the person that you are, it requires work. But I also feel it starts off with how you feel about yourself. The environment will correspond to it. Sooner than later, but it will happen only if you do not just feel like a plus one. If you don't feel, you feel like the person in charge in your head, in your mind, and in the way you treat your life. I feel everybody else will then just correspond to that. This is one mantra, which is companionship. We all are human beings, and it's not necessary to be romantically in love all the time. So it's humanly impossible to just feel lightheaded and always in love. But what keeps you going is the companionship. I think what keeps you is the inherent desire for each other to grow in life. I think and just be the biggest cheerleaders for each others, and give equal importance and precedence to each other's aspirations and goals. I think it's very, very important to do that, and that really has helped us till now. Hopefully, it does forever. But yeah, it's just about having a big congruent area in terms of our interests. We have a lot of common interests, and companionship. Very honestly, it can't always be romantic and sexual. It has to be something something of substance that has sustenance to it. And so it's just great to just wanting to spend time with your partner, just to chit and chat. And I'm just so happy we are able to do that. So, my daily dose of wellness for myself, first of all, is good thoughts, good vibes, affirmations, to have the most joyous and a value adding day. Apart from that, I also do have some soaked almonds and walnuts, and I also kickstart my day with some soaked sesame seeds. I really hope this helps you.